Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany, Board Game Reviews.
Board Game Reviews. And we are going to do our Gen Con, wrap-up video.
Yes, we recently went to Gen Con, the biggest North American tabletop gaming convention, and it was fantastic. So much fun.
Yeah, so much. One of my favorite things is all the different languages that I hear. It's amazing.
And yeah, accents and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Like, we interacted with some people from all over. And it's because this is such a big event. Lots of releases happen. So yeah, it was fun to kind of hear people from different companies that are represented from different countries around the world.
It was amazing.
So let's kind of drill down and talk about some of the things that we thought were cool and some of the interactions that we had and just have a little chat about it.
A little chat. Just gather around here, children, as we tell you a story of Gen Con long ago.
Well,
weeks ago.
A week ago. All right, so was there a booth that stood out to you as particularly cool?
Okay.
I have one in mind for me.
So, I don't even know what this booth was called, and the only reason why I think it was cool was because of how it attracted our kids. And it was one of those...
Free candy.
No.
It was a white van outside of the convention that had free candy.
No, so this booth, I actually talked about it in our vlogs, but it was, I do remember what they're called, Games and Gear. So, our child broke something at their booth. And, like the responsible parent that I try to be, I went up to the booth afterwards, and I was just simply saying, hey, did my kid break something of yours? Because I can pay for that. You know, like, my kid is my responsibility. If they broke something, you know, I want to reimburse you for that. And our daughter is just, like, bawling her eyes out. You know, she feels horrible about it. She feels bad about it. But, like, she's just so stinking adorable. And the people at the booth were like, no, it's not a big deal. You know, we print those things all the time. It doesn't even cost us anything. Oh, it's okay. Don't cry. So anyway, they were so amazing that not only were they like, no, I'm not even going to tell you how much it costs. I'm not even going to let you pay for this, even though I'm like, no, seriously, I can pay for this. Not only did they not let us do that, but then they gave her, like, these paintbrushes.
That is... Yeah, so support them if you get a chance. They are our heroes.
Yes, they really are. So that's Games and Gears.
I'm going a different direction with my favorite booth, based off of like the theming and the consistency throughout. The Op had this massive, expansive, long booth. Everybody was in Hawaiian shirts. Yeah. They were all promoting the Perfect Wave game, and they had these like tiki hut things, and everything was on point, on brand throughout, consistent every single day. Looked so cool, and the high energy level. They all had just tons of energy. And there was a bunch of staff there, a bunch of people demoing games. It was just. That was my favorite booth to walk by and interact with.
Yeah, they did have that Everdell tree, that booth. Do you remember that? That was kind of cool. The kids,
got up inside. Yeah. Probably broke that, too, for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, could have. So, did you see any costumes that you were like, that's awesome?
There were tons of great cosplay. We were busy in the meetings for a lot of it, so we missed out on like the costume parade on Saturday. Yeah. I would say, just from a personal like preference thing, I saw a Riddler costume that was like on point. It was perfect, like with the custom cane and everything, and
he even had like a swagger.
Yeah, like he knew. He was like,
fun. Yeah.
So that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I saw a Loki family, which I thought was adorable. So the dad and the mom were the Lokis, and then the kids were like, there's like a baby Loki, and then there was they had another kid Loki, and so that was like really cool to see this family of Lokis because it was so easy and effective.
One of the things people knock Gen Con because they say it's not a game playing convention. Compared to, like, say, we recently went to Geekway to the West, which was
just playing games.
Just playing games, right? Okay, so first I want to debunk that myth by saying people were playing games. Yes. The gaming hall itself was filled with people. Yes. Every hotel, lobby and conference room and ballroom filled with people playing games, having a great time. There's tons of opportunities to play games. Yeah. That being said, there is a lot of spectacle and stuff going on as well.
Oh, yeah.
So we especially with our meeting schedules that we had, we get to play a lot of games. But out of the games we did play that were new to us, what was your one of the favorite ones?
Oh gosh, I still really enjoyed that the airplane one, the
Sky Team.
Sky Team. Oh my gosh,
That's a good one.
that was so fun. I just like
We had to meet the designer.
yeah. So we got to meet like that team. It was just a really fun experience, and it was my first time like going to a meeting like that. It was a lot of fun.
And the person who was demoing it too, like, spiced up the difficulty level a little bit, added some challenges,
Yes.
and we ended up losing, which we like. We like
Yes.
losing cooperative games. We lost by like one like action essentially,
Yeah.
and it was perfect. It was the right amount of tension, super fun.
Yeah.
I would say, oh man, I really enjoyed Trash Talk. That was like a really silly
That was
cooperative
I had a
game
lot of
as
fun.
well.
I like my brain does not melt with people at all in games like this. If you want to play Codenames, don't play with me.
Yeah,
We just will not be like.
But that
thinking the
sometimes
same
that's
thing.
like it makes the game fun too. Like
Yeah.
knowing that you're probably not going to score that well, but you're going to have a great discussion afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah. So Trash Talk was probably one of mine. Point City was another one. Takes point salad
Plus, it's like
and just
point
ramps
salad
it up
plus.
and like adds a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff. Super fun. Okay, so that's my. I threw a couple answers in there because I cheated.
Okay, so what of the games did we bring home are you most excited to play?
Ooh, that's a great
I
question.
gotta look at our pile.
Okay, so Renegade reprinted Acquire. So Acquire, I love Acquire anyway, so it's kind of a cheating answer. Let me think of a better one. Express Route from the Op and Pat Marino. That looks really fun. A cooperative pick up and deliver game, which those two things like don't sound like they should go together. So I really want to see how that all comes together.
Oh, I'm really excited for Deep Dive.
Oh yeah.
Deep Dive kind of feels like if you could mix together Hey That's My Fish and Deep Sea Adventure. Like it's like a mashup of those two games. So I'm like really excited for that one.
I like those picks.
Yeah. Let's see. You said more than one though, so I want to say another one.
Well, my first one was like a cheating one because it was a
Oh,
reprint.
I got a Sorcerer's Arena expansion, so I'm excited for that.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Disney's Lorcana.
Oh my gosh.
That released
Like,
at Gen Con, and
Fudge me buckets. There was a theft.
yeah, well, that ended up being magic, I think.
Oh, was it magic?
Yeah, someone throw like a whole pallet worth of magic cards, like
300,000 is what they said.
Shame on you. If you were that person, turn it back in. Because I'm sure you're watching us.
Yeah.
Okay, but Lorcana, the Ravensburger and Disney made this trading card game to basically challenge Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and all those other
Yeah.
kinds of games. And the line for that wrapped around the booth. There's a big chaos as the line kind of dissolved and disintegrated, and people
Yeah.
were like fighting over it, and the booth was just mad
People
the
got
entire
hurt,
time.
I'm pretty sure, that first day.
We didn't even come near it. We wanted to experience some of that, and which we did, as we'll talk about in just a moment here. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it was just really fun to see a game have that magnitude of interest.
Yes, it was. It
We
was
have not
really
had
cool.
a game that made people lose their minds like that, you know? And of course, I'm not celebrating the people losing their minds. I'm
No.
celebrating the fact that the game is so cool that people are interested in it.
Yeah, that was like it was so weird, and like I listened to some like gaming news, so I know certain things, but I feel like I was completely out of the loop. I hadn't even heard about this, and maybe it's because I don't play collectible card games, so it just wasn't on my radar at all. And so when people were talking about this a couple weeks prior, I'm like, okay, I don't get it. Like, what's the big deal? And then I showed up there, and I'm like, what's the
Yes.
big deal? What's going on?
All right, so we did, as we went there, as I guess part of the, we want to call it media or press or whatever,
Yeah.
had an opportunity to get invited to a Lorcana event that Disney threw that had really fun, like, themed beverages and,
Yes.
like, oh gosh, it was really, really cool. I got to talk with the designers of the game. That was really exciting. But yeah, we also, one of my favorite things of all, I have displayed behind us. We have these custom Lorcana, Ryan and Bethany cards. Pretty excited about those.
Yeah, it was such a cool party. I met so many people there. They did such a great job of putting it on. The atmosphere was amazing. The food was amazing. And Ryan and I don't drink. And so normally when there's parties in bars, it's just kind of like, I'll have a Sprite. But they had these really tasty mocktails, which I was so excited about. I'm like, yes, I get to drink in that like fancy cup that you all drink in all the time, because I'm going to have like all the mocktails that they could possibly have. And it was just like the coolest thing ever.
And also, obviously, the game itself is a trading card game.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning of the night, we were all kind of given a quest that we had to go basically... we were basically kind of encouraged to go talk to other people around us so we could trade with them so that we could interact with people we might not have otherwise come up to.
It worked. It was like, it worked so well to get people to mingle. It was, It was brilliant. It was one of the best. Maybe we just don't go out a lot, but it was honestly one of the best parties I've ever been to. Yeah,
it was super cool. I really enjoyed that. And so we'll be bringing out some Lorcana content. We've got our local game store is running an event soon, so we're going to go there and see if we can get some packs and open them up and see what kind of game cards we get, and we're gonna try to do some coverage of that. So we'll be keeping you guys posted with all the Lorcana goodies as we get into it, because we've gotten out of Pokemon. I never really did a lot with Magic as the new releases. I thought about getting into like the Lord of the Rings Magic just because I like Lord of the Rings, but it's like this one, I'm a little worried for my wallet, frankly, because it sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, I am also worried for our wallet, but that's okay. Let's carry on. Another thing that I absolutely love at Gen Con is Motley Kids. So Motley Kids, they put on a lot of events and they kind of run the Kids Zone at Gen Con, and they do so many amazing things. So we had our girls do a craft every day with them, but they also had some open crafts. So you didn't even have to buy a ticket or even get a generic ticket. You could have just walked in and done some free crafts that they just had offered every single day, just all day. And they had all these open tables, and it was great because we would go in there and our girls would craft. And the thing that was cool about it is that, like, this is really stressful to do at home because of the mess and how much stuff is set up. And we always have, like, other things that we have to do. But we were able to spend about, what do you say, like an hour and a half every day?
Yeah.
Of just sitting there and letting the girls just, like, go crazy with the hot glue gun, and had these crafts that they were doing.
And they're all kind of like a little bit nerdy crafts, like dice towers or painting miniatures, or things like that, or these cool little nightlight things. Yes. Everything kind of was on theme with Gen Con. They got to build their own stuff and take home with us, and it was really, really nice.
They're always amazing. Like, they've always done like the best crafts, and it's two things. One, they have awesome crafts that are like, either you can help kids when they're younger or older kids can do them by themselves. But two, they also, like, get kids and like kids. Because some people are good at crafting with kid stuff, but they're just, or they might even like kids, but they're just not good with kids, right?
Yeah, like, hey, don't make that mess. Or, hey, look, we know, whatever. But so it's like, hey, we're excited to have you here and have fun with us.
And they've been like that every year that I've gone to Gen Con.
Because last time we went, last time our eldest went, she was 6.
Yeah.
She remembers those interactions from when she was 6 and 5 and 4.
Yeah.
And she still has some of the items.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just amazing. If you have kids, definitely try to do some stuff with Motley Kids. They're just, they get it, you know? So, huge shout out to them.
We also, we contribute to the Dice Tower, which is kind of fun. We do the Board Game Breakfast channel with them. And so we got a chance to work the booth with like Eric Summer and Chris Gee and with Mike Delucio and with Tom Vassell, and it was fantastic. And so for all of you who came up and said hi to us, thank you so much. That was amazing to meet so many of you in the halls and at the Dice Tower booth especially.
Like, I know we do this, and I know people obviously watch it, but I'm always shocked for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm like, you've seen me before? And they're like, yeah. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
And also, we noticed lots of, I guess, traditionally people like to make fun of the hobby as being like old white men,
Yeah.
I feel like as time goes on, we're seeing more and more young people, for one thing. We're seeing people of more ethnicities. We're seeing more families.
Yeah.
We're seeing the hobby grow exponentially, and it's reaching all corners of the world, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I remember one of the first years we went as a family was in 2015, and I think I could count on one hand how many other families there were that I saw. I'm sure there were other families there. Obviously, like I said, Motley Kids was there, and there's always kids events. But I just did not. They're just.
We felt weird having kids there, and year it didn't feel weird having kids there.
It did not feel weird. I saw so many different families, not just on Sunday, but like on all the days. And we like to create bingo boards before we go, just random things that we think we're going to see. And I put on mine like somebody wearing a baby. And I was like, there are so many of them. I should have put like a numerical value on that, like at least 5 people wearing a baby. Because it was just like everybody's raising their own geeks, and it's great.
Okay, so I'm going to skip over the next point and talk to it at the end. But there's also a lot of celebrities there. There's always been like C-level celebrities, right, or D-level celebrities, and we get really excited about it. Like I remember the year that Summer Glau came from Firefly, and we were all like, "Wow, a nerd actor celebrities here! That's fantastic! This is the best. Board games are number one." And I love Firefly. I love Summer Glau, but let's be real, she's not like an A-list celebrity.
She's not.
I mean, compared to like, I don't know, A-list celebrities.
I don't know.
But look at that! She's only been in one season and one movie ever, if anything, right?
No, she was in Terminator.
Oh, was she?
A TV
Okay,
series.
well that's cool.
Yeah.
But getting off topic here, or off track, there was tons of celebrities in terms of like big movie stars, like the guy who played Phil Coulson, and that Joe something, I can't remember his name, some big hunky guy who does D&D. Who knows? All the Dimension 20 people were there, not all of them, but a lot of them were there, and it was just awesome to see like these personalities who not only are able to come to these events, but also like our nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just the fact that they're in nerdy stuff, but they like nerdy stuff makes us happy.
But even like non-celebrity people, right? People that we've just been interacting with, or at least I've been interacting with online and have never met in real life. I like met you in real life, and it was great, and it was awesome. And
yeah, there was so many people that it was. I don't even want to list everybody that I was excited to see, because I'm sure I'm gonna miss someone because I didn't write it all down, and I don't want to do that because that would be disingenuous and make me feel sad if it made you feel sad. So I'm not going to say that, but I will say, so many awesome people I got to hug and say hi to and give a high, and oh, it's just amazing. Okay, so super funny. I don't know what it is about my personality, but there were 4 different people who I was like, yeah, we haven't met before, and they're like, no, we have. I'm like, nope, I've not been here. Like, we haven't met before. I think part of that is because I've been around to a lot of conventions where Bethany's kind of stayed home with the kids or worked or whatever. Yeah. And I've gone, and what people see on camera is the 2 of us next to each other. So they see me, it just kind of just feels like she's there. But also, I think that also lends itself to how well you are on camera. You just kind of have this very inviting aura to you, right? Yeah. Aura is a weird word, but like you just people feel comfortable like watching our stuff. They feel like they're in the living room with us. Yeah. And I think I really appreciate that. So it was nice to people were like, oh, hey, we've met before. Like, no, I haven't been to a convention in 5 years or whatever. Yeah. But it was fun to just meet a lot of people and to see, I don't know, to see people interact in like the real world. One thing that was challenging was we had a ton of meetings. When someone asks me, what do I do? It's my first Gen Con, what should I do? I always tell them, don't schedule a lot of events. Schedule a lot of things. We did that for our first Gen Cons, and we were wall to wall with games. We'd do like a 2-hour block, and then right after that we'd go to another 2-hour block of game, and another 2-hour block of game. We had tons and tons of great games, but we missed out on so much because we were just, locked in on all these different games or these events or whatever it was. So for a while, then we kind of backed it off. Did like 1 event a day, and that was amazing. We had to see so much and do so much, and had a lot of freedom. Well, this year we reverted back, and now that we're like more like doing channel-related stuff, we had all these meetings stacked up as well. So every half hour, it felt like on the half hour we were at a different booth. Over here, over there, over there. So this, the Lucas Oil Stadium, and this hotel ballroom, and this. We're just bouncing around all over the place, going to meeting to meeting to meeting. And it really suffered. We missed out on a lot because of that. I can count on 2 hands how many aisles I went down, like I really, really explored. And that's sad because I love just like exploring, Yeah. I mean, I didn't even see any of my tea places because we were too busy with all of our stuff. So that was sad.
Yeah, it was. But such is life.
Well, some of the meetings I had were actually, I've talked about it a couple times, but I actually design games as well. I'm got a bunch of games that I'm in various stages of working on, and I really enjoy that. It's a kind of another tier into the hobby that I think is really fun to explore. I get to explore my creativity with that. So I got a chance to pitch a couple of my games, which was really, really fun. So I can't say anything at this point, but there might be an announcement about that coming up soon with some of my good friends, some of my co-designers that I was working on a certain game with, that once all that gets hashed out, I will maybe be able to share more.
Speaking of games, which is really exciting, be excited. Speaking of games, so many publishers sold out of games.
Yes!
It was awesome.
So we had all these meetings, and as we were having these meetings, we were talking about business is booming. You know, it is. We are selling out of copies. We're going to overnight in a bunch of new palette of games just so we can, take care of tomorrow's. So it was fantastic to see that much commerce happening.
Yeah, and not just like one person's game or two person's game, but so many people were selling out of their games. It was great. It honestly was great to see so many companies doing that well.
That kind of leads to, I guess, our final point, which Gen Con is back. Conventions are back. I know that we all did a really smart thing by kind of not gathering for a while. And that being said, I'm not going to not ever go back to a convention. I want to see these people. I want to see my friends. I want to see all these games. And sure enough, it did not disappoint. People were there in droves and reinvigorating the board game economy. And it was so great to see all that. And Gen Con just felt alive again.
It did.
Last year, it felt... there was stuff happening, but it was definitely a step backwards from what it had been in 2019 and before.
Yeah, I guess people said that they could walk up and down the aisles last year.
Yeah, no, it was great. I was skipping. no one was stopping me. I was just kind of prancing around.
Yeah, that did not happen.
Not this year. This was more like.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Excuse me. Sorry.
Disney Lorcana cards.
My bad.
Yeah, so that was kind of our final thought was, man, it was great to be back at Gen Con where so many great memories have been had there. Being able to bring the kids back and have them making all new memories.
Yeah.
Our daughter, she bought with her own money, I think it was, a stuffed animal 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. She brought it back. She packed it. She wanted to have a reunion tour. Because the kids in this mind, they have this idea, this mecca of board gaming, which is Gen Con. And
I honestly thought they were going to be disappointed. I thought they had
built it up so much.
Yeah, that it was just a fantasy at this point, but they weren't. I remember I don't think I told you this, but on the last day, we're sitting in the church service, and my daughter's sitting on our lap, the youngest one, and she just looks up at me and she goes, I don't want to go home.
Yeah, this is home. It's home away from home.
Yeah.
I step into those aisles and I know where Wabash 2 is, and I know where the Skywalk to the JW Marriott is, and in no other place in America do I have that clear of a map in my head of everything.
Yeah.
It was great. So it got a little longer winded than I intended, but at the same time, hopefully you guys enjoyed hearing some stories. Let us know in the comments below what has been your favorite part of Gen Con. Did you go to Gen Con, first of all? Yeah. If you're not, let us know too. What did you do as maybe a part of Gen Can't? We participated in that a couple times, and that was a blast as well. So, let us know.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye.